Hi guys, and welcome to my little corner of the internet. So today I wanted us to make this hat. I'm making this hat for my babies. This is for the youngest, and then this is for the second one with this yellow here, and I want to make one for the third one with this color is going to be up here so that each one knows which hat is theirs and they are not exactly the same. The things you're going to need is you're going to need your yarn. You're also going to need your crochet hook, and for this I'm using a 5mm crochet hook. I don't know, yeah, that one. That's how big it is. You're also going to need a tape measure to measure the kids' head circumference, and also you are going you will measure the kid's head circumference, and you also want to know how high you want it to go. This will depend on the size of the kid's head and also how much hair the kid has, so you should take into account the hair also when you're making it to make sure it's comfortable. Yeah, and also you're going to need scissors. And as for the yarn, I'm using Robin. If you're in Kenya, then you know this yarn. It's Robin 100% acrylic. It's really cheap. Yeah, so I'm going to be using two yarns together. So I'm going to be using it like this. So I'm going to be using it like this. I'm going to be putting them together and then crocheting it like this, two yarns together, because I've tried to make this hat using chunky yarn before, and here is one of the ones that I made. I really didn't like the feel of it. It wasn't as stretchy as I wanted it to be, and it just, the overall look of it doesn't look as good as it does when you use the two yarns together. So I would recommend you use two yarns instead of just one chunky yarn. Yeah, so we are going to be using these two colors, and yeah, let's begin. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a slip knot, like that. I don't know if you can see. You put it an X like that, and then this one you put it through, and then you just pull, and there you have a slip knot. And so we are going to chain. This is for my eldest, and so I'm going to chain 45. As for these smaller ones, I chained 40. So this is for the distance from here to here, so I chained 40. But for this one, I'm going to chain 45. So chaining is then you pull it through. And I'm going to do black 30, and then I'm going to do this yellow 15. So this is 30, and at this point I'm going to start adding in the yellow. So how I usually do it is I just take the yellow and I continue with it. So I'm going to do 15 of this yellow. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, so this is I've chained 45, and this is how it's going to look like. So the next thing you're going to do is from here you're going to add 2. You're going to chain to 1, 2, and then you're going to start doing half double crochet on each of these chains, but you are going to skip the first 2 that you've just added. So you're going to skip 1, 2, and you're going to start your double crochet here at the third one. So the first double crochet is you yarn over, you pull it, you put it inside, pull up a loop, and then pull through all 3 loops. Again, yarn over, you go in, you pull through all loops, then yarn over, pull up another loop, and then you go through all loops. And then I'm going to meet you here where we're going to be changing colors. So here we are at the last one. So what you're going to do is yarn over, pull up the loop, but instead of pulling up this color, you're going to start to pull it. You're going to drop this yellow and pull the black one, but you don't just leave it down, because you need to be able to pick it up when you're coming back. So what you do is you leave this yarn here on the top of the crochet, and then you pick up the black one, and so you finish the last one with the black one, and then you can continue with just half double crochets all the way to the end. You continue like that, half double crochet all the way to the end. And again, half double crochet is yarn over, you go in here, you pull up a loop, and then you pull through all 3 loops. Again, yarn over into the chain, pull up another loop, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Last time, yarn over, go into the chain, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 chains. So let's meet at the end. Yeah, so when you reach the end, you should have something like this. You should have 15 of this yellow, and you should have 30 of this black. So when you reach the end, what you do is you turn your work, and then you're going to start with chain 2, and then you're going to be crocheting on the back loop only. So there are these 2 loops here on top. You're going to be crocheting on this loop only. So we're going to miss to skip the first stitch, because this chain 2 counts as 1 stitch, and then you're going to start on the next one. So remember, back loop only. So half double crochet all the way across, back loop only, half double crochet all the way across. Remember, back loop only. You are only picking up from the back, this one. Yeah, so continue doing that, and then we are going to meet here at the color change. So when you reach at the end, you should only, if the stitch is black, you should be using black. If the stitch is yellow, you should be using yellow. So this last one is black, so I'm going to pick it up with black, and then that's the end of black. You do exactly the same as you did with the yellow. You put it on top of the, tag a bit on the yellow so that it tightens here just a bit, and then pick up the yellow, and you finish that stitch with the yellow so that you can continue with the yellow. And that's how you change the color. You change the colors, and you continue like that until the end. Remember, half double crochet on the back loop only. So half double crochet on the back loop only all the way to the end. And I'm trying to do this as slow as possible so that you can see what I'm doing. You can slow the video, you can pause, you can repeat it as many times as you need to, just to make sure you get how I'm doing it. And you can add more than one color. It can be as colorful as you want it to be. It doesn't have to be just 2 colors or just 1 color. And so when you are here at the end, remember that one, and also the last 2. Remember, the chain 2 counts as a stitch, so you should also put 1 at the end inside the chain 2, like that. And then now here for turning, you're going to chain 2 as always, turn around, and this chain 2 counts as the first stitch, so you're going to skip this one, and you're going to put your next stitch here, and you are going to repeat this as many times as you have to until you get to your desired length that you want it to be. So you're going to repeat this as many times as you want to. You're going to have as many rows as you need to have. You're going to take your tape measure and you're going to measure and make sure it's as long as you want it to be. And then we're going to meet there when you get to your desired length, and then I show you how we tie it together. Yeah, so at this point I have done 41 rows, and you should remember when I started I chained 45. When you chain 45, that is going to give you 11 inches, and that's about what I have. And what I need is the head circumference of the person I'm making this hat for is 21. So that is what I need. But you should remember it's stretchy, so don't just make it up to 21 and then measure. Try to stretch it so that you make sure it fits the head properly. Yeah, so there, 21. So when you get to your desired length, the next thing you're going to do is fold it in half, and then we are going to add slip knot all the way along the edges. So this is to connect this side and this side. So to do that, so how you do that is you enter in the first stitch on this side. So this is the first stitch, and you have to be very careful to make sure they align, and then you enter into the first stitch on this other side where you started with the chain. So the first stitch, and then you just do a slip knot. A slip knot is where you pull it through and you go all the way through like that. And then you're going to do the same here, the next one aligning with the next stitch, and then in, and then the next one, the next stitch. Make sure every stitch coincides with each other so that it is straight. And so you are going to do this all the way across. Let me meet you at the color change. So this is the last black one, the last black stitch. So you go in and then you find this stitch and you go in, and then you slip knot, and then you go to the next one, the white one, and you drop this one, pick, the yellow one, pick the yellow one, and you go into that last and you make a slip knot. No, I'm sorry, I meant in this last black one you're going to pull the yellow yarn. And then you're going to pull it all the way through, and then you're going to go to the next one, which is now the yellow one, and then pull it all the way through like that. So on the last stitch, on the last black stitch, you use the yellow yarn, you use the other color, the next color that you're doing. That's how you finish it up. I had just, yeah, so then you continue, make sure every stitch coincides with the other one. On the last stitch, you should also remember the chain is also a stitch, so you should go into this chain, both of them, from the top chain, so like that, and then pull it all the way through. Then from here we are going to finish it off here. So I like to just pull it through and then take my scissors and leave a big portion out, like that, and then I'll just cut it, and then I will pull this all the way through and tie it. So then you're going to end up with something like this. It's open at the top, so the plan is to tie it up here. So for tying it, I also we should cut this black yarn. We are going to weave it in later. So the next thing is to tie it here. What I like to do is just to go through this way, in, out, in, out, like that, all the way up to where this is, and then I just pull it through. So then you are going to do that all the way around. You put it through, in, out, all the way around. And as you can see, I'm not pulling it all the way through. I'm just pulling it. Yeah, what you do is you pull it through, but as you can see, I'm not pulling it all the way through. It's still in a loop. So this way I can just pull it tight. One side I use it to pull it tight and close the opening. I pull it all the way tight, and the other, the one that has the end, I put it through and I tie it. So it's totally and completely closed. It's like this, closed completely. So then at this point, all I have to do is just try to weave it in. And the first thing that I do is usually put it on the wrong side. So I will go in and pull it on the other side like that. And then I will weave it in on the wrong side. On this side. Yeah, so, and weaving it in is just going through a place and taking it and pulling it through, and then you go the other direction and you weave it in, and then you do that until you feel that this part is secure. Now that I'm confident with my heart here at the top, and I think that this is secure enough, the next thing I'm going to do is to make a pom-pom. So how you do that is, I don't have a technical method of doing it. I just take a piece of yarn, lie it down, and then don't worry about my yarn being wrinkled. It's because I have frogged another project. Yeah, so I'll just tie it around my arm like that. And you do this until you are comfortable with how much yarn you have here. Now that I'm comfortable with how much I have, I'm going to remove it from my arm, cut it from the main yarn, and then put it here on top of this yarn that I had cut at the beginning, and then just tie it around. I don't complicate it. Tie it like that, and then I hold this take my scissors and just put it through and cut. And the fact that this is yarn from a frog project, it's looking really nice. It looks like it has been curled. And yeah, there it is. There you have the pom-pom. So how you attach it is, this is the wrong side where you put it in. So what you do is you take your pom-pom and you go inside holding these two separately. So you go inside the, see, I'm holding them separately so that I can pull them up separately. So on one side I'll pull one, here's one, and then on the other side I'll pull the other. On this other side I pull the other, and then what I just do is tie it here. After I tie them to each other, the next part is I tie it to this other yarn end that I had used to tie up at the top. So I make sure it's perfectly secure, and then the next thing to do is just weave these ends in. And so this is what we have. This is a finished product. I really love this pom-pom. It's so curly, it looks nice. Yeah, so this is how it looks. Yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope you've learned a thing or two. I hope you're going to try to make this. It's a very nice pattern for beginners. If you are just learning how to crochet and you've just gotten down your basics, I think this would be a good first project to do. And thank you very much for hanging out with me. Thank you for watching the video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. Yeah, and I hope to see you in the next one. And yeah, please share the video, like, leave a comment. I usually read all of them. I try to read all of them, and I reply to whichever needs a reply. And yeah, I hope you support my channel by subscribing. It's free, and yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you back here next time. Bye.